On January 29, 1979, at around 8:20, the classmates of Grover Cleveland Elementary started arriving for another week at school.
It was a strange morning, and it was just an eerie, odd morning. There was frost on the grass, and there was kind of a strange feeling.
I remember walking to school by myself. I was probably about 5 feet from the sidewalk, and then I heard the firecrackers or the bullets she was shooting go off, and I turned around and faced directly across the street, and that's where her house was.
That was my first year teaching in San Diego. The principal always came down to the gate there, unlocked that gate 5 minutes before the kids came in. It wasn't too long that I started hearing noises.
That was the first one shot in the abdomen.
First were just popping noises. You know, I thought maybe it was a new toy from a Christmas present.
There was some gunshots, but I thought that they had firecrackers.
I didn't understand why I was on the ground.
I looked out, and the principal was flailing backward, and he had blood on his chest. And I thought, oh my gosh.
I got the news about 8:30, 8:45, give or take.
It just didn't seem real at the time.
I must have gone into some sort of shock because time passed and I was just standing there staring.
It wasn't a gangbanger neighborhood. It wasn't a stoner neighborhood. This is a good neighborhood. San Carlos, good schools. Things like this don't happen. We don't have this kind of crime. My gosh.
As we were running down the sidewalk, we could hear shooting. And when we got down here to the end, there was a bunch of little school kids all huddled against the side of the wall.
As Brenda continued shooting, the police evacuated 300 students out of the back of the school, where they were bused to safety.
I turned, and that's when the bullet went through my wrist, because Brenda was actually aiming. She was shooting to kill.
I remember Crystal Hardy screaming, "Am I gonna die? Am I gonna die? Am I gonna die?"
Absolute chaos to start with. Utterly chaos.
Other reporters with the head police incident commander, the paramedics, just a lot of movement, people running. For a while, she had just an open shooting gallery.
I was up at Torrey Pines counting money. We had to have TV on, which we normally didn't, and they were talking about the shooting. Next thing I know, I got a phone call from the police department stating that it was Brenda and they were coming up to get me. And I said, I can't go, I've got a desk full of money. And they said, you're coming. So they came up and got me.
That day, that information kind of spread fairly rapidly. Probably until I got home in the afternoon, I don't know that they knew, who the shooter was.
The sniper has been identified as a 16-year-old junior at Patrick Henry High School, Brenda Spencer.
That's my student. She should have been at school today. She's having a bad day.
The bullet went in, and it nicked my jugular vein, and then it bounced off my shoulder blade and had lodged against my spine.
I was in that house right there, irritating her like crazy. Brenda, pick up the phone, and then I was squeaking the bullhorn, basically raising kinds of hell with her.
We started questioning, why.
Why? Why me?
She seemed pretty harmless.
The shooting turned into a siege situation involving 100 officers, 30 patrol units, and 20 SWAT team members.
Honestly, I was a little pissed that the SWAT team didn't blow the house away, and with her in it.
We went through a lot of talking. You can't believe, basically, everything that boiled down to was the fact that she hated Mondays.
Then she told him, I hate boring Mondays. So you're just picking these kids off, yeah?
Oh, that's just a dumb comment. That's just a dumb comment. It's flip.
I think it shows a callousness on her part. It shows just how callous she was in committing this offense.
Boredom, rage, no sense of guilt. It's frightening. And it still is frightening.
After 6.5 hours, at around 3:30 in the afternoon, Brenda suddenly came out of the house, put down her weapon, and gave herself up.
Well, I was shocked to see, just a young little girl dressed up, kind of like in army fatigues or something.
Thin, pasty skin, stringy, reddish hair. My gosh, this was just a suburban schoolgirl.
And I did eventually take custody of her, transferred her down to our homicide division. From the ride downtown, never said one word, very quiet the whole time.
I remember sitting on the couch and we're watching TV, and of course that's all the news was about that day was, my father getting shot. We're seeing that over and over again. But I remember sitting there, catching myself, anticipating Daddy getting home so I could tell him what happened.